Bases are unique. There on most bases there's a very good face to support and to heavily support, obviously that being the bottom of the base. And it's really easy, and with some of the tools inside of Lychee that makes that very simple. So what we're going to mainly focus on is anything on top of the base. And again, we can kind of see here that some of this area is free floating, and we're going to have a lot of supports or little islands needed underneath this particular branch. Something we can do is we see it kind of curves up and starts to build on itself. I'm going to start this by tilting, actually, start by spinning this around. Wherever we can, we want the model to build upon itself. So if the model starts printing and has solid connections and continues to build from there, the model supporting itself, quote unquote, is always going to be preferable. So with this kind of swooping branch, we can rotate it so it starts attached to the model and begins to build up, and then only builds upon itself as it goes. We might consider supporting this a little bit more just to increase the likelihood that it's going to print successfully, but at least in this orientation, it's always building upon itself and doesn't technically need any supports. We can also look and see these arrows are one by one layers building upon each other all the way up, so they don't technically need supports. These little ferns or bushes here, just because they have a whole lot of leaves, are going to need a lot of supporting anyway, but there wasn't going to be a way to really mitigate that a whole lot with this particular base. So by tilting this up, it gets us a real clean starting point. It leaves the back open for the majority of the heavy supports, and then all we need to worry about is supporting some of the finer details on these ferns. For the scope of this video, we're not going to move on to supporting this base. We are just going to focus on the goblin.